Welcome back, survivors! In the last episode, we talked about the Gachas a little bit and showed you how to tame them, where to find them, and that sort of thing. But today I wanted to get a little more in-depth in them because I've had more time to play around with them, and what I thought was just a novelty is actually really, really nice. We've got a base set up here. Previously, I was playing on single player, but I've jumped to a multiplayer server now, and we've been focusing on these Gachas pretty heavily. As you can see, I've got little mate-boosted pairs set up in several locations here. There's a pair of them here. I've got two of them there, two of them further down, and etc. I've got two there, two there, two there, two there. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of them total. And they're in mate-boosted pairs. And what we've discovered is that they can actually produce items, not just little random resources like, oil or flint or fiber or gel balls or anything like that, but they can actually produce items under the right circumstances. Now, we've got these snow owls set up right here, and what these Gacha right here do is collect the snow owl pellets. So we don't have to worry about picking the snow owl pellets up. Anytime a snow owl drops a pellet, these guys automatically pick it up, and if they're not hungry, they store it in their inventory. So these guys collect all the snow owl pellets for us. And then we can take these and distribute them to the other Gachas. Now, when the Gachas are full, they will eat anything. You can put anything in their inventory and they will eat it. Weapons, items, absolutely anything. Stone, flint, anything. What we've discovered is when we're feeding them certain items, they started dropping items. So we played around with... Oh gosh, there's a meteor shower going on here. So we played around with the items a bit and found that, so there were a couple items that they started giving us really good stuff, it seemed like, on a regular basis, like ascendant gear. So what we found is the war drums, I found, seemed to work pretty well, and the war plans, the war maps, seem to work pretty well. So I've got about 50 of them in my inventory right now. And if you notice, the Gachas have got these little glowing, different colored balls floating over them. And that occurs when they're in a mate-boosted pair and when they're happy, like when they're eating a food that they like and they're full, basically. So we've got all these eating snow owl pellets. Let me grab a couple of them so I can distribute them to the other Gachas here. But you see, they're full on food. You can feed them other stuff, but it doesn't work like this. It's the snow owl pellets that they prefer. So when you feed them that, they get that glowing little... colored balls over their back, and that's when they can produce items. So you got them happy, you got them in a mate boosted pair, which seems to help. Feed them war maps. I'm gonna try. I've been playing around with like the amount you have to give them that really works the best. Seems like 10 or 15 seems to work the best, and war maps are pretty cheap to make, so let's give these guys right here 15 of them. And we're going to run around and distribute... See, he just grabbed that snow owl pellet that hit the ground. He's got another snow owl pellet in his inventory now. Right there. Boom, got that. Since they're not hungry, they just store them. So a good way to do this is to keep a couple of snow owls around all of your Gachas, 1 or 2, and that'll keep them fed and happy. We've just got it set up right now. He just dropped an item. That is a regular one. He didn't drop me anything good. I will pick up that crystal, so that's just going to be regular... resources. See if this one drops me anything good. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times in a row. He did drop something, an item. So you see, that's an Ascendant Gacha crystal. Let me pick that up. See what we got out of that. Ascendant, and see, this is the standard Gacha crystal, which he dropped blue crystallized sap. But on the Ascendant one, consume it, and we got an Ascendant pike with 360% damage. That's an incredible pike. In fact, it's way better than the primitive one I've got right now, so I'm going to swap it over, and that one can just go into storage for later. But yeah, he just dropped something else. What do we got here? Is another standard one? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to run around and distribute these war maps to a couple of the other Gachas and see what else we can get here today. All right, that was another Ascendant one right there. Let's see. So I've made a trip just down this row right here, all the way down and back, and basically fed them all. I fed them like each 15 war maps, and then I had a couple of war drums that I fed them. I've actually got 5 of them left, but these guys are no longer producing. So let me find some other ones that are. Maybe we'll get something off the 5 war maps. I've been playing around with it. It seems like 10 and 15 is the best for getting the drops, but 5 may work. We'll try it on this one right here. He's got snow owl pellets. Let's give him 5 of those. See if he'll drop anything here. See, they sit down on the ground to eat, and you'll see the crystal form on its back right before it drops it. He's not gonna drop it anything this time. You see, this one's got a crystal already on his back, which is about to form. So I think that's probably a good indicator of when they're about to produce an item. You can see this one's got a crystal up on his back already. So I bet if we give him something, let me see if I can make a couple more war maps, and we'll try that. And that seems to be. Let me try 10 of them here, and I'll make these real quick. Put them on him, and we'll test and see if that is an indicator of when they're about to drop an item. See, this one doesn't have anything up there, even after feeding that item, but this has got a blue crystal on its back, so that may be an indicator that it's ready to produce an item. We'll try that out. Alright, so I've made a couple laps around, and this is all the stuff I've gotten so far from the... I got 2 crystals here I need to open up. So, of course, we get the standard items, the congealed gas balls, and the element dust, and the metal, and pearls, and all that, whatever they set to. But we did get some decent gear out of this. Of course, we got that Ascendant pike, which is really good. We got an Ascendant stone hatchet, which is, not incredible, but it is Ascendant gear. We got a couple of journeymen, some flak gauntlets, crossbow. We got an Ascendant fabricated pistol, which is really nice. And then flak leggings and a Mastercraft riot helmet, which is really good armor rating on that. So, all in all, some pretty good gear. Got some other stuff down here, some, chitin boots, which are Ascendant gear, but it's chitin, and I'm not going to wear it on this map because I tend to get too hot and that stuff. But it can be useful in certain instances, like if you go in the snow biome and you didn't want to take some of your better tiered armor, some chitin armor would be a pretty good option for that. But anyways, some things that we've noticed while doing this, if you pay attention to the Gacha's back, look at their back before you feed them the item, or actually, this is something we've observed doing this. You see how this one on the left has got a blue crystal like right in the middle of its back, right? You can just barely see it there if this bird would stop at the right place. Whereas the one next to it does not. Let me see if I can find one that's got more, that's easier to see that way. Yeah, right here. You see they've got these blue crystals on their back. That seems to be an indicator of when they're ready to drop an item. They got these blue crystals on their back, and that's literally what is falling off of their back, is those blue crystals. Seems to have something to do with it. That's not 100%, but it seems like the ones that have the crystals, whether or not they have them, has some sort of indicator, some sort of part in what they drop, or if they're going to drop a good item or not. You see these over here, you can see it really well right there on that one there, whereas that one next to it has got 2, one small one in the center and a bigger one on the side. So as they're feeding, as they're eating these items, these crystals are growing on their back, and that's what's dropping off, is, that's how it's producing these crystals. So something to keep an eye out for. We got some pretty decent gear out of this. Didn't take that long. I probably fed them, I think, about 200 war maps in total at about 10 or 15 at a time. I was feeding 110 and 115, just trying to figure out what seems to work the best. There doesn't seem to be any magic number, because it seems like that they have to eat a certain amount of items or a certain amount of processed goods for it to produce those Gacha crystals in any significant level. But yeah, that's all we've got for today. Let me know if you guys have found anything different down in the comment section. Any other tips on these guys? Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Subscribe for more ARK content if you haven't already. And hey, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.